And now on Sydney Weekend, cheers with Ben Malouf. Thanks to firstvintage.com.au.
Ben Malouf, hello.
Michael Smith, I heard all these sad goodbyes. I felt like I should have hugged you when I walked in the studio this afternoon.
We love a big Malouf hug. As you ambled into the studio, you didn't walk. This is the wine merchant, the bearded wine merchant Malouf, who ambles. He's got that demeanour about him that he should be in a crumpled linen suit with a little fedora hat, flogging his wares.
Anything to paint a pretty picture, and you do such a good job of it.
When you hear your little opening song, and you can hear those ice cubes, tinkle, tinkle, and then you can hear the liquid getting poured over the top, what is it?
What's what? What's the
liquid? What's the grog that's going onto those ice cubes?
In that one in particular?
Yeah.
Well, look, you know what?
Can we play it again? Can you just get his Ben Malouf, give him 2 bites of the cherry for one invoice? Fire away.
And now on Sydney Weekend, cheers with Ben Malouf. Thanks to firstvintage.com.au.
Righto. What's that grog?
Do you know what? There's been a raging debate that I've had with a few people about whether you can pour wine with ice.
Well, a raging debate.
Raging debate, and some people go yes, and some people say no. For me, not necessarily, but the best wine in the world is the one you enjoy, and the way that you like to drink it is the way that you like to drink it. A lot of people actually drink their Pinot Noirs, for example, when they're hot, a little bit chilled, with a little bit of ice. Again, not my style, but I hear a lot of people doing it. So let's go with somebody cooling down one of their wonderful Australian wines.
No, it's got the more liquor, groggy type Scotch feel to me. Those ice cubes and the...
I love a good single malt on a Saturday night just to end off a wonderful meal.
Me too. Have you done the course in Edinburgh when you go to the little Scotch college there?
I haven't had the
worth it, mate.
Pleasure of doing it.
Absolutely.
Did you buy one of the barrels that you can actually buy up there as well?
No, but it's in Edinburgh. If you go there for the comedy festival or the military tattoo or whatever, in that street where the military tattoo is, there's a little Scotch university or something they call it, and you go in and you take about 4 hours in the morning. You learn about how Scotch is made. It will change the way you drink it. And after I did that, I could never go and get a bottle of Johnny Walker, like blended Scotches and stuff like that. Once you understand the nature of Scotch and the various peaty smells and the smoky smells and the way that the Scots developed their Scotch, I could never drink or enjoy something that wasn't a single malt.
Yeah.
As much as I do now that I understand it.
Did they tell you to put a dash of water in there just to break to break it up and really open up the aromas?
Yeah, exactly.
So the principle of drinking Scotch is the same as the principle of drinking wine. What you want to do is you want all those beautiful explosive aromas really to jump out of the glass. And the way that you do that is not to serve anything ice cold, because if you serve wine ice cold, it suppresses all of the flavours.
Yep.
Even your white wines. And that's a bit of people have a tendency to put their white wine in the fridge, get it icy cold, and then you lose all those beautiful bouquets and flavours that the winemaker was intending for you to taste. Single malts and scotches are exactly the same.
So on wine, I must admit I'm guilty of it, like really, really chilled shardies and that sort of thing. I just think it goes down easier. What is the ideal temperature?
You'd be looking at, I think it's about 21 degrees they suggest to serve it at. So it might be 18. Sorry, don't quote me. I believe it's 18.
So the normal fridge at home gets down to what, 4-ish, 5-ish?
Yeah, that you can't differentiate really what you're drinking, and a Chardonnay will taste like a Riesling, will taste like a Pinot Gris at that temperature. You're suppressing the flavours. Any winemaker will say, let it sit there, warm up a little bit. Those beautiful explosive aromas will really burst out of the glass.
If you're going to Mardi Gras tonight, what would be the tipple of choice?
Tipple of choice are Riesling. Riesling this evening.
This is not television, but you just adopted the most Mardi Gras pose as you delivered your verdict. The tipple of choice for going to Mardi Gras is... Riesling with his little hands out the front.
You always like to make comment on my gestures, Michael. No, a Riesling, a nice dry Riesling. It's still a bit muggy outside, so yeah, something crisp, something dry, something that'll go down very, very quickly.
We're going to have a little celebratory, mate.
I think that sounds
eminently
reasonable.
Well, it's the end of summer, and we are all autumnal in our autumnal hues this afternoon. Just waiting with cheery anticipation until summer comes around again next year, where we'll do it all again, eh?
But there's a wine for all occasions, so no need to stop drinking great award-winning Australian wines all year round.
Oh, geez, he's good, isn't he? No invoice for that. Now, stay there. Trish, hello.
Hello, Michael. I just wanted to say how much we're going to miss you. Well, we who loathe and detest football are going to be dumped on the scrap heap. Which is devastating. No, it's not funny.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
No joke.
It's un-Australian to loathe and detest football, meat pies, kangaroos and Holden cars.
Not for mature grandmothers and people who cannot bear it.
Has it always been this way for you, Trish?
Oh, yes.
So as a kid, well, everyone else is listening to Frank Hyde and you've gone, oh, no, not Sat Diavo.
No, Frank Hyde, look, all of that. But, you know, it's just there's so much more that we can be given on radio other than screaming football. And, you know, you're the person that can give it to us.
I used to love funarkling. Are you familiar with the sport?
No.
It's
Well,
John
I don't
Clark. You know John Clark, Brian Dorr, they do that thing on the ABC on Thursday nights?
Oh, yes, yes.
A genius, John Clark, who completely invented a bogus sport called farnarkling, and invented, you know, BS rules and various players. It was as funny as a fit because you could apply it to pretty much any sport.
Yes, yeah.
And like Roy and HG too, a lot of their stuff was entirely taking the mickey out of sport.
Yes, I am sure. Look, of course, and that's the Aussie way. But, you know, for mature people like myself and thousands of others, it is just devastating to have this screaming, ranting rubbish on radio.
You can't, Trish.
There's other stations that can do it, but not 2GB.
It is a big part of the Australian psyche, and
I understand.
sometimes, if you're a Catholic priest, what jokes would you tell from the pulpit in your sermon if there was no footy?
Oh, plenty of other things.
Good on you, Trish. What would you do if Jesus came to Manly? That was always a joke when I was a kid. Put him at full forward. Lovely to chat with you, Trish. See you later. Have a lovely autumn and winter. Thank you very much for the call. 131873 is the telephone number. You can text me or drop me an email at my website, which is michaelsmithnews.com. Keep in touch. I will be on with Ben Fordham on Thursday afternoons, and looking forward to much more stuff with 2GB. The football coverage on this radio station is second to none, and the continuous call team has etched for itself such a place. What is Saturday Arvo without the footy? Trish, I think you're probably in the minority. It seems to me that Sydney loves it. Yourself, Ben?
Mate, Parramatta Eels, the year of the eel, Michael. I can feel it.
It is the year of the
I'm
eel.
a long-suffering
Mate,
Parramatta
Parramatta
fan.
has already been determined to be Sydney's most livable suburb, scoring 135 out of 170 possible points.
I don't know what to say that, but I grew up there. I love it. It has a very special place in my heart.
I don't quite know what to say either because Hurstville was number 3. Mate, my mum lives at Hurstville. I spent a bit of time going down that main drag at Hurstville. If that's the most livable we've got, Struth Ruth, we are in strife. Thank you very much for your company. There are 8 seconds of us left together. It was great for me. If it was for you too. See you next summer.